Hi everybody, how you're doing? Hope we're having a good weekend so far. So today is Sunday the 23rd of March 2014. So we're back with an interesting video. So this is going to be one of those long, well, maybe long, but we'll see how much information I can put in. So unless you're epically bored, please do not watch this, seriously. And every time I say that, it looks like a lot of people always seem to watch these videos, so clearly there's a lot of interesting stuff that you want to hear. Anyway, I'm going to dive right into it. So there's been a few updates that have occurred over the past sort of weeks, also past couple of weeks and such. First thing I want to mention, obviously, next week here in the UK, next Wednesday sees the official release of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So March 26th is when the movie will be released here in the UK. I will be going to a midnight showing. Odeon Cinemas will be doing a reviewing. Well, I say a review. They'll be re-showing the Avengers movie before the Captain America movie at midnight. So if you're going to see Captain America, you've got a chance to see the Avengers beforehand. Okay, so honestly, if you can, go check it out and go do the double if you can. I'll be watching the Avengers at home before I go and see Captain America: Winter Soldier myself. And speaking of the film itself, I'm sure, although I still haven't heard much details about it, I'm sure that there's an episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. that is supposed to cross over with the Winter Soldier film at some point next month. It'll probably be next month because April 2nd or April 4th, I think, is when it comes out in the States. I'll just quickly double check because I think that is when it's out. Yeah, so 4th of April is when it's out in the States. So I would imagine roundabout then is when there'll be that crossover. Unless it's a Wednesday release, which is on the 2nd of April, then again, because given that the show is out on Tuesday, the movie's out on Wednesday, you know, but it could be afterwards, it could be after the movie's released, so I don't know. So if anybody who has inside information about that can clarify, that would be great. So staying with the whole Marvel side of things, Amazing Spider-Man 2, I didn't even know about this, I had no idea that it's actually going to be out in the UK. Okay, I'm serious. Marvel seems to love the UK, I don't know why, but they seem to love us so much. The film's coming out in the UK on the 18th of April, okay, and you guys in the States won't see it till May 2nd, so it's a bit harsh, but yeah, a good 2 weeks here in the UK before you guys get to see it. That's actually quite piss taking in some cases, but there are films that you guys get to see before us, so I suppose it's kind of like one of those situations where they're thinking, okay, you guys have seen this, let's give these guys something instead, and other things work vice versa. Warners, take note. That's all I'm going to say, take note. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out on Good Friday, which is actually Easter. So Good Friday is when it's out here in the UK. So I need to get my tickets for that one very soon. What else have we got? I think it's been touted that Mark Webb may not be directing the fourth Spider-Man film. I haven't read the reasons why. I've just seen the headline somewhere that he might not be interested in directing the fourth one, which would be a bit of a shame since he's already doing the first three. I think for him to do the fourth would be a round-off figure for him. I mean, it would be interesting if he carries on till the fourth, and then if any of the spin-offs occur, Sinister Six, Venom and all that sort of stuff, you know, other directors can come in to do that. But he can then consult with them. He can be like an executive producer or producer on those particular films as well. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see come after the third one has been written and made. Then if he decides that he wants to do the fourth one, then brilliant, fantastic. X-Men and X-Men Apocalypse. Now, obviously, Days of Future Past comes out May this year. We already know that Apocalypse is going to be done, it's going to be released for 2016, and there's a possibility that Bryan Singer wants to bring back both Nightcrawler and Gambit, possibly for Apocalypse as well. Gambit, as you remember, was first portrayed by Taylor Kitsch in the X-Men Origins Wolverine. I know everybody didn't like it, but hey, it was the first live-action outing for the Cajun, so you know, let's at least be happy that an appearance was made. Although he was actually teased as well in X2. If you saw when Mystique was going through the list of you know, trying to hack into the system for strikers and such, trying to find out information about Cerebro and whatnot, and then seeing the names and, well, trying to find out where she can where Eric Lensher was being held. She was trying to get information about how to get in, and then we saw the name Gambit appear in the list of other mutants and such. So there was that tease. Nightcrawler, as we already know, was in X2. So he was portrayed by Alan Cumming, and brilliant portrayal, by the way. If he comes back for Apocalypse, I think that would be sweet, although there's a possibility that it's going to be a younger version. Reason being that X-Men Apocalypse is said to take place in the 80s. So this is going to be interesting, because obviously Days of Future Past is going to be obviously the future, and then we're going back to the 70s. So whatever happens throughout the course of the 70s is then when it's going to come into the 80s, which is where obviously Apocalypse is going to play into it. How it's all going to unfold, as yet I don't know. But if you've read the Days of Future Past comic book, which was, I think, was back in 1981, which is what the film is based on, then you guys will probably know a bit more about it than I do. So that's perfectly fine. So yeah, I think it would be a good idea to bring back Nightcrawler and Gambit. And who could we have play as Gambit this time? Personally, I would love for Josh Holloway, who played Tom Sawyer in Lost. Honestly, he's got the voice, and I can't see why he can't be in a big movie like this. Josh Holloway is one of those actors where you look at him and you think you'd be right for this role, but why can't the casting people out there see it? That he'd be perfect for some of these roles. I think some of the stuff, say for example, if you decide to cast Channing Tatum as Gambit, there will be a whole series of issues going on there. I know that Channing himself has said he would love to play Gambit, and he also has that personality about him. So between him and Josh, I would vote for Josh. I'd prefer Josh. I know Josh is obviously older, but I still think he would probably do a good job. Not saying that Channing can't do it, just that he's been in a lot of movies lately. He's going to be in Jupiter Ascending, which is being done by the Wachowskis, and that's out later on this year, I think around July or August. That movie is coming out. So yeah, he's been in quite a number of movies already of late. So get Josh in there, please. And speaking of X-Men Apocalypse, we're now moving into the Wolverine territory. Obviously, we already know that Hugh Jackman has already said he's not sure whether or not he's still going to play Wolverine. As we already know, he's going to be in Days of Future Past. It's pretty much the focal point of Days of Future Past. We still don't know if he's going to be in Apocalypse in 2016, but the sequel to Wolverine is due to be released in March 2017. Okay, so James Mangold has already confirmed that the Wolverine sequel will be released in March 2017. So pretty much a year after Apocalypse has been released. So again, whether or not Jackman will be back for those two films is another question, but there is a possibility, a high possibility, that he will be back for the sequel for Wolverine as opposed to Apocalypse. And let's say, for example, we know that Hugh Jackman is getting, he's not getting younger, he is getting older, but we know that the character Wolverine always looks the same as time goes on. I seem to remember a few X-Men episodes from back in the 90s where we look to the future and we see Storm and Wolverine in particular. They're both in love, they're married, they're together, and you know, Wolverine is older, he looks a bit, you know, he's got the greyish sort of hair and stuff. What's to say that Hugh Jackman can't be in that sort of position? What's to say that, say, in another 5 years' time, 5 or 10 years' time, he decides to do an X-Men movie or an X-Force or X-Factor type film where he is, you know, older and he's still, you know, saving the world as such. You know, there's no reason why Hugh Jackman still can't continue as an older Wolverine, and you can still get someone to come in and play a younger version of Logan, and still have Hugh Jackman play the older version, sort of like having retell his old days or something. I don't know, one of those things. It can happen. But to be honest though, I think is Hugh Jackman the only actor that has played a character for as longer than 10 years? because we know that Christopher Reeve played Superman for 10 years. Tom Welling obviously played Clark Kent for 10 years as well. I'm trying to think who else has played particular characters for a long time. Indiana Jones, obviously played by Harrison Ford. I think he's actually come the longest, to be fair. No, I think Harrison Ford has beaten him. So yeah, Harrison Ford has probably beaten Hugh Jackman, to be fair. Not just necessarily the number of movies that they've been in, but it's the length of time that they've played these characters. So yeah, that's definitely one way of putting it. Although, saying that, I think the only person that has beaten both of them is Ian McDiarmid, who played the Emperor and also Senator Palpatine in the Star Wars franchise. I think he's won hands down. So unless if there are others, please by all means let us know. I think obviously you've got Sean Connery as James Bond as well. I think he might be in there. Roger Moore as well to a certain point. So yeah, quite a number of actors who have played, you know, big name characters for a long period of time. So yeah, Hugh Jackman's definitely up there with them, that's for sure. So anyway, so that's pretty much the whole side of regarding Marvel. Let's see, what else have we got? Fantastic Four. Now we know that Fantastic Four is out next year, and I've already spoken about the cast for that. But Fox have also given a release date for the sequel for Fantastic Four already. Okay, they haven't even done the first one, and already they've got the dates organised for that, and that's going to come out on July 14th, 2017. So a good 2 years after the first one. And there's also going to be a mystery Marvel project that Fox are going to develop. Nobody knows what it is, but there's a possibility, as I've already said earlier on, that they might be developing an X-Force movie. And again, this is where Hugh Jackman can come in. Okay, I believe X-Force is like an X-Men of the Future type team, and I think in some of the versions, Wolverine has been involved. So again, hardcore Marvel fans, please let me know if that's true or not, because you know I don't read Marvel comics. So I'm not really that clued up on the whole stories, on the characters and what universe they belong in. But yeah, so for them to already have a date for the Fantastic Four sequel, and the first one's not even been out yet, is giving them high hopes for that Fantastic Four franchise. So that's interesting. The Avengers sequel, Age of Ultron, is currently being filmed. There's already been set pics released. There was a TV show that started this week for Marvel's, called Avengers, or Assembling the Universe, for the Marvel Universe, and they showed some concept artwork for Age of Ultron, including Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Hulk, and the oh my god, what is the name of that? The Hulkbuster, one of Iron Man's suits. Although it looks like it's not a case that Iron Man is going up against the Hulk. I think someone's overtaken his machines. The Hulkbuster is obviously having to face off with the Hulk for whatever reason. I'm sure we'll find out come next year when the film is released, that we'll find out what that's all about. But yeah, they are currently filming. I think they're about a good month or two into filming right now. So looking forward to the trailer for that one very soon, hopefully. Before I quickly shift over to DC stuff, I just want to talk quickly about Godzilla, because oh my god, if you have seen the trailers for that already, boy, we are ready. It is definitely looking like it's going to be one of the biggest movies of the summer. Looks like Warner's have really got a hit on their hands with this one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I don't think Godzilla is the only one making an appearance. It's going to be, looks like another couple of creatures will be making their appearance as well. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. So anyway, onto some DC stuff. The biggest one being Gotham. And if you've been following the stories so far, there've been set pics already. We've had pictures of the Wayne family, Thomas, Martha and young Bruce as well. They've even released a picture of young Selina Kyle, and it's very, very well done, because you see the actress who's playing Selina Kyle. Her name is Cameron Bicondova, and she's just there kneeling down, and behind her there are two buildings strategically placed behind her head. as if she's got cat ears. It's awesome, and she looks like a young Michelle Pfeiffer. It's scary. It's really scary. When you see her, you see her face, you think it's a young Michelle Pfeiffer. So they're going for something there. That's all I can say. They're going for some interesting look right there with this actress as Selena Kyle. So that's very interesting there. Not much to say about Arrow other than next week's episode, Birds of Prey. Oh, my body's ready. That's all I'm going to say. I am ready for it. And if you've seen this week's episode titled Suicide Squad, a certain voice was cameoed, and we erupted. The geekdom erupted, especially if you're a Batman fan in particular. You'll be very happy with what was cameoed in that episode. So obviously there's that. Not heard much about Constantine of late, so that's all a bit quiet. Flash as well, that's been quiet. They haven't said that they've wrapped it yet, so I think it's still filming for the pilot. So we haven't heard that the actual episode, the pilot, has wrapped as yet. But then who knows? Maybe in the next couple of days we'll hear something. So just drifting away from the DC Marvel side of things. Pixar have announced that they're going to do an incredible sequel. Yes, please let there be capes. Edna, hush it, okay? I want there to be capes this time. Bring in capes, because capes are good. Capes are awesome. So yeah, an incredible sequel is being made. There was talk of... oh my god, where was it? And I cannot remember where I heard it. But... oh, good lord. As I say, obviously they're making plans for the sequel. That was it, yes. They're going to re-release the first Incredibles movie in 3D. So, there's that. I think Disney, Pixar are planning on doing a lot of 3D re-releases of some of their popular films, and obviously The Incredibles is one of them. I think the other one is Ratatouille, and I think WALL-E might be in there as well. So yeah. They haven't actually stated when the sequel for Incredibles will be released, just that they've announced that it's going to be done. Obviously Brad Bird has been wanting to do it for a long time, since the first one came out, so that'll be interesting. Now his live action movie called Tomorrowland is out next year as well, so obviously sometime after that I'm sure work is going to start on sequel for Incredibles there, so yay to Incredibles sequel, can't wait. Star Wars. Alright, so obviously the big reveal for Star Wars came out this week, and it has been said that it is going to take place 30 years after Return of the Jedi, will feature 3 new heroes, and will also have appearances from the old 3 as well, if possible. Well, I say from the old 3, but some very familiar faces is what has been quoted. So, yeah. Who have they got cast in so far? They've got Adam Driver, who's going to play a villain. Looks like he's going to be a Darth Vader type antagonist of some sort. One particular name that's been rumoured to possibly appear in the film is none other than 12 Years a Slave, Lupita Nyong'o, and obviously she got her Oscar just last month, so she's hot property right now. A lot of fans, X-Men fans, want her to portray Storm in future X-Men films. Someone did a mock-up of her appearing in the Oscars, and what they did was they gave her the white mohawk that Storm obviously sports in the future, in like the X-Force days and such, and she looks awesome. Okay, she looks fantastic. So yeah, I think Lupita has been in the fans' eyes. They want her to be Storm, and I think that's good. So yeah, so Star Wars, as I say, obviously we know it's out December 2015, directed obviously by J.J. Abrams. But the fact now that they've actually given us some more information that it's going to take place 30 years after Return of the Jedi, this will be interesting. And why not have the original 3 back on? You know, Hamill, Harrison Ford, and obviously Carrie Fisher as well. You know, they don't have to be the focal point, but they can appear in certain areas as cameo appearances. You know, surely by this time now, Leia and Han Solo are both married, they've got kids. I remember reading a book decades ago. I say decades ago, I'm only 33. But when I was about 15, I read a Star Wars book that took place shortly after Return of the Jedi, when both Leia and Han Solo were married and they had twins. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see if something like that comes along, then that'll be great. Yeah, that'll be very interesting. But who knows what else we're going to see, who else is going to appear. I think Gary Oldman said that he had read for a casting position as well. There's so many, obviously they made so many rumours about Harrison Ford coming back. They've confirmed that Mark Hamill's going to come back and Carrie Fisher's going to come back, but still we don't know if they're actually coming back. So all of that is still in the air, so we don't know what's going on there. Anyway, so yeah, I think that is it. So I believe I've covered all the bases there. But yeah, some of the things that I'm looking forward to, obviously, as I say, going to see Captain America next week. Then obviously the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is out next month, and then obviously X-Men Days of Future Past, Godzilla. Then obviously we're looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy. Not much has been said about that, although I believe oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Mark Webb had shown a 30-minute screening of the film earlier this week and spoke about it as well. So I haven't read any of that, so you know, I'm trying to avoid as many TV spots as possible now for all these films. I just want to just go to the cinema and watch them now. So yeah, it's all too much when they start releasing too many TV spots at these rates. So yeah, you just want to stay away and not know anymore. But just to end off now, the Man of Steel sequel, lots of that information has come through that's due to now kick off principal photography on May 19th. Okay, and they're going to go back to Yorkville to film scenes at the Kent farm. Okay, because that's now been reconstructed, it's been rebuilt. They did all that during the back end of last year, early of this year. So that's all up and ready. So I think they're going to start off there to film their scenes at Smallville, and then go back to Detroit and continue their big stage filming from, I think, from May or June till around about August. No, a bit longer than that. I think around about probably September, October this year they're going to be doing that. So it sounds like it's going to be a big film, and I'm sure the first teaser won't arrive until around middle of next year. So that'll be interesting. And just quickly, speaking of the sequel, as you already know, May 6th, 2016 is going to be congested in the fact that both the Man of Steel sequel and Captain America 3 are going to be released on the same day. Marvel aren't going to budge. I don't think Warner's are going to budge. So this is going to be the seriousness of Marvel versus DC. This is going to be the cataclysm is going to occur on May 6th, 2016. Geeks everywhere are not sure what they're going to do with themselves. For me, I think I'll go and see Captain America 3 first, so that I can really enjoy the Man of Steel sequel. Because Captain America 3 will sell itself, but the Man of Steel sequel is going to be something of a spectacle, I feel anyway. The fact that you're going to have not just Superman in there, but also Batman and Wonder Woman as well, it's going to be one hell of a film and a half, basically. So yeah, either one is not going to budge, and if they don't budge, well, personally I think it's good for both entities, because it'll be good business for both of them. There's no downside to it as far as I'm concerned, because geeks will see both films regardless. It doesn't matter who you are, who you support, you're going to see both films. You're going to go see either Captain America 3 first, or you're going to see Man of Steel sequel first. Whichever one you see first, you'll see the other one second. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's all about enjoying both of these particular rivals that is happening. You know, I'm a DC fanboy at heart, and I will always be loyal to DC, but I've enjoyed what Marvel have been bringing out, and all their films that they've brought out so far have been superb. And even the properties that are belonging to Fox and Sony as well, in particular, you know, X-Men at Fox and Spider-Man over at Sony. You know, it's great that they have those divisions helping them out as well. So for me, you know, what Marvel are doing is fantastic. And whilst we might think that Warners are taking their time Warner's are moving at their own pace, and I don't think they're rushing anything. They're not rushing. They're not really taking the slow pace either. They're doing it in their own pace. Marvel have been bringing. The reason why we think Marvel are moving ahead is because Marvel have been consistent, and they have been doing long-term planning. We can turn around and say Warner's are not doing a long-term plan, but we don't know that. We don't know what's really going on behind the scenes at Warner's. For all we know, they could have 5 films lined up, but they don't want to reveal or announce it in the way that Marvel have been doing. Yes, in the past, Warner's have said that, okay, we're going to make a Lobo movie, we're going to make an Aquaman movie, we're potentially thinking about doing a Hawkman movie as well. We've heard of all of that. None of it has happened. So now I think Warner's have now said to themselves, okay, let's not give them any teasers, let's not say anything, let's just keep it quiet. We've already got, this is what we're planning, but let's only reveal what we can reveal as and when the time is right. So who knows? You know, Marvel will be saying, right, we've got these next 5 films that are coming out in the next 5 years, but Warner's will just be sitting there thinking, okay, let Marvel take the limelight, we'll just carry on quietly over here, and then when we're ready to reveal our big guns, boom, out it goes, and we'll surprise everybody. And that's what Warner's have done. They have effectively surprised everybody, especially with the casting for the Man of Steel sequel. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. You know, those are the big 3 surprises right there already. And that's what Warner's do. That's what they seem to do pretty well, is they surprise everybody, much to a lot of people's bitter disappointment and furor and whatever. You know, at the end of the day, they're doing something right. If we're so pissed off about their announcements, they're obviously doing their job right. So, there you go. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you all very much for watching. If you have stuck this long, congratulations, you're fucking bored. But no, seriously, thank you all very much for watching, and I'm sure I'll be back again for one of these uber-sized geeky updates as always. And yeah, we'll see what's next in store. Thank you very much. See you all very soon. Bye.